All right, so I'm going to run through some front headlock options, basically just a dilemma between some Anaconda variations, some back take stuff we can do, and then like a modified high-risk guillotine. All right, so I'm going to have Nick in the front headlock here, and most of the time, like if you snap him down or if you sprawl on a shot, you'll have this kind of chin whip grip and hand behind the tricep or the elbow. Always important that when I'm going for chokes, I'm trying to like circle and pull Nick, so I'm always getting his hands to the mat, right? I don't really want to like attack the chokes when he's able to sit his weight back, because now his hands can come up and immediately. So if that happens, I got to be circling and pulling him away. Once I get his hands to the mat, though, I like to first look for the Anaconda series, and most of the time, I won't be able to get my arm deep enough to fully connect to my bicep. So I'll just get the gable grip here. That way I can lock nice and tight behind his armpit, and I can focus on using my forearm and wrist to remove his elbow from the ground. So I'll really pull it across like this, and I'm on my toes. So a lot of weight that's carrying like behind his shoulder, so it's hard for me to yank it back. Once I do that, I'm gonna make a little bit of an angle. I'm gonna start to punch my head underneath of Nick's stomach, actually like I'm trying to look straight up at the ceiling. Between doing that and squeezing, a lot of times you can get a tap, like a modified Anaconda choke. So we're here, I pull that elbow off the ground, I circle, I duck through, I lift, my head I squeeze, and if you can't see, I get the tap over there. Now, if you don't get the tap, a lot of times the guy's gonna be alleviating the choke, kind of like Nick is right now. See how he's starting to blade his body a bit toward the side that the choke is on. If I can't get the choke and I feel that, I'm just gonna roll him all the way through, and then that way we can start trying to connect the Anaconda from the bottom. So we're here, I'm looking for that choke. I feel Nick starting to like prop himself up a bit, I dive through, and now when we come through here, I have the ability to start trapping his arm and working for my bicep grip. Now, sometimes here, like guys are still gonna be stingy and they're gonna be making their shoulders wide, they're gonna be defending. So I don't like to just die on this hill and fight for the Anaconda if I know that he's doing a good job defending, because if he gets out and on top, then I'm stuck with nothing. So if I know I need to bail on this, I'll shorten my grip so that I can go back to the chin whip here, punch an underhook, and now when I come up, I can not only beat him and get into a dominant position, but sometimes I can rotate all the way through, pinch my elbow, keep my chin whip, pressure my chest onto his, and we'll get this kind of cow catcher choke, okay? So that's the first series of submission threats from that Anaconda position. Now, another thing we can do from here, I want to circle around this side, Jared, is when I first look to connect here, Nick's gonna know that if this elbow comes off the ground and across, he's gonna be compromised. So he's gonna start kind of swimming it back, and look, he posts on the ground. So now, not only the strength of his elbow coming back, but his hand wedged on the ground, I can't break this down. Again, I don't want to get fixated trying to force his position if he's already one step ahead. So I'm going to jump one step ahead, alleviate my grip here, and go head to the far side so I can get good range of motion to punch my wrist up really high like this. If I don't do that and I just try to get my wrist deep here, that's about the depth I get. Not deep enough to secure a good grip without him hand fighting. So my head comes off his center line to his far shoulder, really get deep here. Now I can cover like palm to palm. Sometimes you can start finishing the choke from here. Even if you can't, at the very least, it's hard for him to hand fight. Now, if I really want to make it more secure, I upgrade this grip by starting to circle, pinch my knee behind his arm here, and then look, my grip that's here, my hand that's here, is gonna press against my shoulder, so it gets kind of locked into place. Okay, that way when I reach through, around his arm, and connect to my right elbow here, this grip will stay pinned to my chest, and all that pressure on his throat will remain intact. So now I can get my own elbow, I can sit back, squeeze, and get my tap.